Good morning, my friends. Hello and welcome back. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I'm pretty excited to jump in today's project. I have in front of me a background page from the Shabby Blue Valentine kit from RachandBella. So this is a design team project for RachandBella Crafts. There's three parts to this Shabby Blue Valentine kit. So there's the main journal page kit, there's the background page kit, and then there's the ephemera and fussy cuts. And they're just stunning, beautifully distressed and shabby chic, all in blue toning with some pops of red as well in the fussy cuts. Just lovely. But today, my super exciting project that I'm working on is because it's for my husband. I want to make a little Valentine-y thing to go in his journal. So I'm going to have to be careful how I title this so it doesn't pique his curiosity and make him want to take a peek at the video. He hasn't watched a video for quite some time, so I'm just gonna, name it something innocuous so he doesn't suspect. So I've chosen this page because I think these blues are going to kind of meet his aesthetic, so to speak. I mean, there's so many beautiful pages I could have chosen. So I've trimmed off the white from printing. I am folding it not quite in half because I want this piece to be a hinge. I made him a journal ages ago, and he's not very good about using it. He loves the idea, he really wants to, but he can't get past the idea that his handwriting is so horrible to him. He doesn't like his handwriting, that he doesn't want to ruin it. And I would love for him to jump in. So when he does feel like journaling, he journals in a notebook or random bits of paper with the idea that he'll transfer it into his nice journal, and never does. Like, never ever in our entire married life has it made it into his journal. Even when we were away on our cruise and I made travelers notebooks for us to take away, he just insisted on writing all separately, and then it never made it into his travelers notebook journal. So it's untouched. He's a weirdo. I love him, but it's like, use your journal. Doesn't matter what your writing looks like. Anyway, that aside, I thought if I make him something that he can just glue in, he doesn't need to do anything else, just glue it, tape it, whatever, just add it into the journal, then there's going to be something. So I folded that. So this is going to hinge onto the side of a page because I also don't want to take away writing space if and when he ever does decide to write in his journal or put something in, like photos or something. So just grabbing out this used glue page. So imagine that's a journal page. It's a bit small, but it's going to be hinged on. So I want to glue this together. I'm not going to leave it as a pocket or anything because he's just never going to put anything in the pocket. So I'm not going to make it a pocket. I'm just going to glue it up. And I'm excited because this is a personal project. This is for my husband. For Valentine's Day. We don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, but it's like, I've got all these beautiful papers to use, and I came up with this idea, and I spent all last night thinking about this project and how I was going to do it. And then I got up this morning, and the first thing I realized was everything I'd planned wasn't actually going to work. So then I spent a little bit of time this morning kind of working out how to turn my idea into something that would work. My other idea, it has potential, but it would need to have a few things worked out and how I could actually achieve it. So this is my revised version of my project. So that's going to hinge around the page. And I thought this side we will leave as like a decorative thing. And then when it's flipped open, this is where the magic's going to happen. So I'm going to leave the front for now because, decorating, we can decorate it up however we like. It's here that I'm more interested in. And wouldn't you know it, my nose is starting to run. It's bizarre. We're heading for a very warm day today. It's not hot yet, but it's supposed to get up to like 32 degrees today. So I thought, jump in, get the video done when I'm, you know, not panting from the heat or whatever. Right, so from the Fussy Cut and Ephemera pack, I believe these are from that one, but honestly, guys, I may get confused on which comes from which part of the kit, but I believe these are probably from the Ephemera kit. Little pockets. I don't know how many of these I'm going to use, but I'm going to go ahead. I've cut them out. I'm going to fold in the little gussets. And I've chosen to go with the smaller pockets because I want to fill the page with pockets. Not just 2 or 3. I want to like plaster this page. We'll see how many we can fit in. We may only be excuse me, may only be able to fit 3, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping we can stack them up, layer them up somehow, and make it good and full. Right, so hope you're all having a fantastic week, my friends. Whatever the weather is doing at your place, whether it's freezing or a heat wave, that you're comfortable and enjoying the day, whatever it brings. So this is just easy peasy, just folding in the gussets. No real trick to this, is there? I also want to distress around things just to make them pop off the page. And I need those bottom flaps to actually be over top. So when you are folding your gussets in, if you have the bottom gusset underneath, when you slide something in, and imagine this is the back of the page, you know, this part is your page, you can run into that with whatever you're trying to put in, and it's going to kind of catch and not go down in like it should. But if you put it over top of your side ones, like this, then these side gussets are going to hold this out a little bit and are going to guide your card or tag or whatever in, so it doesn't catch on this bottom gusset. So hopefully that makes sense. And sometimes I get it round the wrong way and put the bottom one up first, and it's never a good idea in my experience. Whenever I've done the bottom one up first, I'm always catching things on it when I try and put them in the pocket. So side ones first and then your bottom one. Some people do away with the bottom one altogether and just glue it flat, which is another way around it. But I think having that bottom gusset just does give your pocket a little bit more room for whatever you want to put in it. So I do like a bottom gusset, but just remembering to put it over top of your side ones when you fold it up. Oh gosh, my nose, what is up with that today? Please excuse me, I know that's not a pleasant thing to be listening to on a video, is it? I haven't got a cold or anything, it's just, it has got a cool start to the day, and I think it's just a combination of that. And talking seems to make my nose run. Yeah, how fun is that? And I'm a little on the cold side, but I don't want to put my hoodie on because I know I'll probably get hot during the recording of the video once I get into things and forget how I feel, how comfortable I am. I'm just absorbed in my project. Then I'll probably get hot, and it's like, oh, can't win. I'm one way or the other. It's annoying, and it's probably annoying for you guys to listen to me complain about it as well. So I've got 5 little pockets here. Let's see how we can arrange them. So this is the biggest one here, as you can probably tell. That one might sit right in the middle, maybe. one up the top. And then my thought with the fifth one, this is actually looking better than I had planned. My thought with the fifth one is to like sit it on the side and make it a sideways pocket, kind of like that. You have to be careful though. Maybe it needs to tuck under that one. Something like that, maybe. Okay, can you see how they are and how they all blend a little bit? And this is my purpose for inking. There's a very practical purpose in inking today, just to make them a bit more separate and obvious. So I'm going to ink all around, even if it's going to be under another pocket, just in case I change the order, or if, you know, I don't get them laid out exactly the way I had planned and a bit shows that I thought was going to be covered but it's not inked. You know, I don't want any little accidental bits to show that needed to be inked. So just going to whip around the outside of all of them. And of course I'm not going to place them exactly the same while I'm doing this. And I'm sure I won't get them all exactly the same when I actually go to glue down. So again, this is an easy part of the process. I mean, it's all easy really, it's just several steps to this project, and I'm hoping to get the whole thing done. Wish me luck, because I want to make all the little cards to go in all the little pockets, because that's where the little love messages are going to go. Now these need a little trimming, just at the top here, just showing a little bit, and I don't want it to show. So just because my folding isn't perfect is why it's showing. So we'll just trim away that. Whoops, still didn't get that one. Hide my poor folding. So is anyone else making a Valentine specific project, and are you doing it for someone in your life, or are you doing it for sale or just because you want to? Do you celebrate Valentine's? Do you do anything special? We might do something, like we never go out for a meal or anything like that, but sometimes there'll be a little love gift, or in the past sometimes hubby has bought me like a little teddy bear or something. Sometimes if I've got the time and in the mood, I might cook a nice meal. There's another bit that's showing. Yeah, so that's probably the extent of what we do for Valentine's. And then in past years I have occasionally made something, like done a little paper craft project or something for Valentine's Day. But our wedding anniversary comes up in March, so that's kind of more of our focus, is our wedding anniversary, particularly this year. This year's a big one. We're hitting 25 years this March, which is, you know, pretty darn good, I'd say. So we're having a holiday, which I'm really looking forward to. I haven't recorded a single video for it yet to cover the time that we're away. But, you know, we've got time, she says with a laugh. Time, what is that? I am running out of time. Did I do this one? Yes, I did this one. Okay. All right, just get rid of my little shrapnel here that I trimmed off because it's very distracting. I hate having little bits messing on my desk. Right, so I need to start at the top, and I'm just going to kind of judge where I had it. Yep, we're just going to go for it and glue these down, and however it turns out will be fine. It's not going to be the end of the world if things are a little bit different to what I'd planned. We just adjust and adapt and make it work. And hubby won't know unless he watches the video. Yeah, he was quite good initially about watching a video every now and then, but now he very rarely watches one, and he just sees what I do on Instagram. So I'll have to be careful when I post on Instagram as well. Actually, that's going to be a problem. I might have to rethink that, because he will see it on Instagram, and that will kind of ruin the surprise if he sees the finished product. I will have to think on that one. I will. Right, this one down the bottom. Yep. See, that they're completely, well, not completely, but quite different to how I had them initially. It might be better, it might be worse, it might make no difference whatsoever. Yeah, if you have any suggestion, oh, well, by the time you see this video, I probably would have done my Instagram post anyway. So if you had suggestions on how I could disguise what I've done, it's not going to be any good because it'll be too late. So I was going to ask you if you had suggestions on how to handle that, but that's all a bit pointless, really. Yeah, I'll definitely have to think on that one so I don't give the game away. What to post on Instagram for my photo? He probably doesn't actually take too much notice. He probably, in all honesty, just as he's flicking through Instagram, probably just puts a like, you know, double taps for the heart. He probably doesn't actually take too much notice of what's there. But I'm making an assumption there. And you know, when you make an assumption, it's not really a great idea. Gosh, I'm talking about nothing today. But I'm happy as I'm doing it, so it's got to count with something, doesn't it? Does it matter if I have that little peep of the background there? That's another one that's showing. That's better. I think that's one I'd already trimmed down, but obviously didn't trim far enough. I don't think that actually matters having that little pop of the background. I just don't want to run into too many issues of getting things in and out of pockets, and I didn't like this point showing in the middle of this thumb notch. So we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of how things are laid out. Yeah, see, that's still going to go in. Maybe if we put that one right across there. Okay. Let's go for it. Let's put it down. I've got things to do for this project. We can't spend all day deciding how to place it. So I hope whether you're into Valentine's or not that you enjoy this project. You could use it for any project. It doesn't need to be Valentine's. That's just how I'm using it. You could put it in any journal, just vary what papers you're using. I mean, these papers really could go with a blue journal, a vintage journal, a shabby chic journal. Could go with so many different styles. So even using the same papers, you could use it in multiple different journals for multiple different moods and styles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you put aside the fact that I'm doing mine for Valentine's, you know, it's a project that would carry across the year. Right, so we have our 5 pockets. This one maybe should have gone over top, but that's all right. I like the layered effect. So it's a page of pockets. We're going to decorate up this and make it all pretty and fun. And then flip it over and we're going to have all our pockets full of fun bits and pieces. So we have in the kits also, we have multiple like little journal card type bits and pieces. I haven't got any of them cut out. There's also tags, of course. Just grabbing out some of the... I've got some cut out, I think. Just got my envelope here of fussy cutting. Let's tip that out from the kits. There's some tags I've cut out. I actually cut these out with my scan and cut, and it's the first time I've used it, and I bought it second hand, and it's left quite raggedy edges and my paper stuck to my mat. So one, I think the blade is dull and needs replacing, and two, I might need a new mat because the mat I was using is a tacky mat or a standard mat, and the low tack mat that I got with the machine is probably looks like it needs replacing, which is why I didn't use it. Right, so let's see. I wanted just little bits and pieces to put in these pockets. So there's these little Valentine's pieces, but they might be a little bit little. So maybe we'll go for some of these. Looking for width. I'm really just going to choose based on how they fit. Oh, I like that owl, and I think my hubby would like that owl as well. And maybe those two birds over there as well. Every time I see an owl, I'm reminded of the time my husband rescued a little owl. It's called a little owl. That's its name here. That had been hit by a car early in the morning when he was on his way to work, just around the corner from us, and so he brought it home to me before he went through to work, and I spent a couple of days nursing it and feeding it and looking after it. It was so cute. It couldn't fly. It was beautiful and so tiny. We couldn't take it to anywhere because it was a holiday weekend and everywhere was shut, so I think it was a weekend, or maybe it was during the week or something. There was a holiday, so we had to keep it for a few days, and then we took it through to a wildlife park, and they treated it and found that it had been damaged enough that it would never fly straight. It could fly but not fly straight, and so it lived out its life at the holiday park. What am I saying? At the nature park. So that's cute. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Now, I've put this over top of this pocket, so I can actually only put something this wide in this pocket, which was a flaw in my plan. But it doesn't worry me. Honestly, it is not a problem. I think that one would go in there nicely, or maybe that one. On the back of these, I'm going to write little messages, quotes, you know, lovey-dovey stuff. You know, all that lovey-dovey stuff. I'm definitely not going to put you through that lovey-dovey stuff. I will do that in my own time, at my leisure, and as I think of what I want to say and how I want to say it, and maybe look at some quotes or something that I feel are appropriate. You know, the private stuff, the stuff that's only between hubby and myself. Definitely not going to share that on camera. And I'm guessing you're going, thank goodness for that. Yes, that one's very cute in there. So that one might fit in there. I'm planning that it's interactive, that you take something out and then you see something else underneath, and kind of that sort of vibe. So it doesn't bother me that this one, I haven't got the full width of the pocket. I think there's that aspect of discovery to this project. obviously cutting and talking flew out the window for a second there. So I'm filming this on Monday because tomorrow is a public holiday here, and hubby's going to be out for a good portion of the day. Yes, I quite like that one there. Now we need something very narrow. Yes, that one will work. So he's going to be out from about 11 AM. I still haven't 100% decided if I'm going with him or not. I suspect I won't because I've just got too much to do. But normally I'd film in the morning, and of course he's going to be here for most of the morning. So I thought, well, I need to be ahead of the game, be organised, get this done so that I'm not stressed about that. So yeah, and the thing he's going to goes until 4, and then everyone who's involved is going back up. That's in Christchurch, and then they're all going back to Waikari, which is where his parents live, for tea. So I'm not sure whether he's going to be home for tea or not, or maybe he might pick me up on the way back or the way back through, because we're kind of in the middle between Christchurch and Waikari. And maybe I'll go up for tea as well. I don't know. But then we've also got to have meals for the next day. So, and usually that would be leftovers from our meal. So, yeah, lots of things to consider. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to stay home and do what I need to. And just cook myself up something for tea and for our lunches the next day would be a good idea. Yeah. I'm just discussing it with you guys, kind of just running through my thought processes about which way I'm... Yep, no, that's too wide. That does not fit. Okay, this one could be a problem. We might have to do a wee change around. Does that one fit? No. Does this one fit? No. Okay, that's all right. We might just have to make a base and put something on it instead. I'm putting these back so I know where I've sort of planned. In fact, that one might be quite nice there instead. Or we could put a couple. I mean, it's no. Yeah, we could put a couple in there. Why not? They both fit there. I could put another one in this one as well. But we need something for this back. And it can't be too tall because we're at the top of the page. That one would be the right width. Maybe we can cut it down. The height. Cut the height down. Or another option would be to fold one in half. So let's see what we can do. Cut it out first and then see how much we'd need to lose off the height. But this week I'm not going out on Friday, so that's good. Yeah, see that? We'd have to take some off the bottom. Let's take some off the bottom. Test it again. And I think if we just go to the top of that little crocheted envelope design, I think we will be about right. Hopefully. So there's a fun little snippet for something, for a bit of collage. It sticks out fractionally over the top of the page, which I am fine with. That's not a problem. So I'm going to get rid of my scraps here, so I don't accidentally end up with a pile of scraps on the floor. Right, next step is really they need to be backed. They're all quite light, so they need to be backed. Do I do that with you guys? I do want to get this project done. So I've got some scraps. Is that wide enough? No, might do this one. Ooh, yep, just fits. Okay, I'm going for tacky glue because it's just going to be quicker. Oops, helps if I actually glue my bit of paper, not my mat. And these will all need to be inked around as well. Oop. Now I've got to remember which way they go. I'm sure I'd work it out again, but I don't want to have to spend the brain energy reworking it out, and probably ending up changing my mind on how they're all arranged. So yes, I kind of wish that tomorrow was just a normal day, so I had a full day to work without having to think about, you know, changes to plans or other people's movements. But however, it is a public holiday. How often do you hear somebody say they wish it wasn't a public holiday? Not very often, I'm betting. But yeah, it's just like I'm just getting back into the rhythm of life after the Christmas break. And it's like this just seems to an interruption to me. It's like it's interrupting my flow. That one needs further trimming, but just want to do this one. So that one goes in that side pocket, and this one. I'm being ruthless in throwing out some of my scraps just because I've got too much to do, and they are just being a distraction. So I figured that if they're being a distraction, just get rid of them. Get them off my plate. Forget about them, because there's always going to be more where they came from. You know, unless it's a really nice scrap like the bit I cut off the journal card. That's a great piece for collage. And I've, you know, spent money on ink and paper to print it out, so I'm not going to just throw that out. But the little bit I took off the bottom, I just threw out. It's not that useful because it's quite small. So that's 3 done. How many did we end up with? Must be 6. Since we've got 5 pockets and one of them has 2 in it. So yeah, it must be 6 pieces. So we're halfway there on backing the ephemera. It's not taking too long. I'll probably ink off camera as well, just to save you that part of the process. Right, so they're the 2 for this side. Put it there. I'm just going to pop them back in, even though they still... No, it's not going to go in unless I trim it down. So let's just trim it down, because it's just a tiny wee snippet off the side. Just to keep track and keep everything ordered and nice and neat. Okay, this one, yes, it will fit vertically, yay. And doing all the backs the same doesn't bother me. It will give it even more cohesion. And I'll probably write on them in a dark black pen, a thicker pen, not just a biro, but like an ink pen, so it's nice and dark and easy to read. I mean, hubby doesn't like his handwriting, but I don't like mine either. But, you know, you just, what do? Never write anything? Well, that's not very practical. And it gets better with practice. So he needs to just do more writing. But he writes all in capitals. I don't know why. He does. And I think if he actually wrote less in capitals and more normally and slower instead of rushing it, I think he would, you know, definitely would improve his handwriting. I can still read it most of the time, but that often surprises him that I can read it. He wrote something on our whiteboard where we write shopping lists, and I went up and had a look at it and sort of nodded. Yep, okay, can add that to the list. And he says, can you read that? I was like, yeah. I mean, we've been married almost 25 years. Of course I can read it. But I did do a stint of working at the Canterbury Museum in Christchurch for, I think it was around 15 or 16 months I worked there, and my job was putting all the handwritten ledgers of material that the museum holds from, I'm not sure how old they would have been, 60s, 50s maybe, and all handwritten in fountain pen and tiny, tiny writing and, you know, script writing, like just full-on writing, the tiniest writing you can imagine, entering that all into the computer. So I got very good at working out what handwriting, what it actually said. There was the odd thing every now and then that really got me. It could have gone either way as to what the word was, and so you just have to enter it with like a question mark after it. But mostly I was able to get the words, so it was really good practice at reading. I'd probably be quite good at reading a doctor's handwriting, actually. You know how doctors are, I guess it's what's the word I'm looking for? Generalization, that doctors have really bad handwriting. But I have seen some doctors' handwriting, and I'd have to say, yes, it's probably not the greatest. But you learn how to interpret it, basically, what that scribble means, because just familiarity and process of elimination, specifically if it's industry targeted, so there's like a certain amount of words that it's likely to be and others that it's unlikely to be. And so a lot of the stuff I was entering was like lists of bones from birds, or the names of minerals and rocks and stuff. So, and while that was industry specific, it was also meant that a lot of it was very scientific, and that was a challenge too, of, you know, working out what that scientific word was and what that species of bird was. But again, repetition, you got used to it, and then you would recognize it. Right, so there we have all our little, did I glue that gusset down wrong? No, just probably should wait till the glue's dry before I'm trying to shove things in them. Right, so we have backed all of those. They are ready now to ink around and to write little messages on. I'm not going to decorate them up any further, I don't think. We could do something on there. That's a plainer one. I love these little gnomes. They're so cute. We could do a little something. I wanted something a bit narrower though. Oh, what about this little jar of hearts? That's cute. So I was saying I wasn't going to decorate these up, but however, I just felt like it could do with something there. So let's just pop this on, because I found something. So as you can see, there's little bits of red as well in the kits, just so it doesn't completely ignore the traditional Valentine, but it's not all traditional, which I think just, you know, expands the usefulness of the kits or kit. Right, let's just pop this one on. I'm not going to layer it with book page or anything. I just think it's cute background. I don't want to cover anything up more than what I have to, or more than what I am. So we're just going to pop this down here. It's got the word love at the bottom there. And so we can see the heart peeping out the side. I'm still debating whether I put little tabs or some sort of dangle or something on top. So this one at the top, I haven't really got a lot of room for adding anything, but I do want to round the corners on this one. Sorry, I just lost my punch board. Where I keep it, it had kind of been pushed back in behind something, and it was like, well, it can't be anywhere else, and it wasn't. I just couldn't see it. Yeah, and I know I said I wasn't going to do the inking, but I just want to ink this one. I do. I know. Changing my mind as often as I change my socks, or more often than I change my socks. So yes, it's a beautiful day outside at the moment, but I can feel that it is warming up. So I've left the bedroom curtains closed this morning because they get the full sun in the morning, the bedroom. I'll definitely do the back off camera. So I've left the curtains closed just to keep the bedroom cooler so that we're a bit more comfortable tonight when it comes to sleeping. Okay, so cute. So I don't think either of these need anything. I don't think this one needs anything because it's got some beautiful decoration on it as is. Okay, so apart from the writing and the inking, that is done. Okay, over to this side. Let's decorate this up. And I did have in mind, where has it gone? There was a puppy, although the hedgehog's cute. There's a cute little fox. Little mouse. I mean, any of them would be just adorable, wouldn't they? But it's not actually the one I'm looking for. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Or that. Like, how stunning are they? They are just gorgeous. I do think I want to go with an animal. They're just so pretty. But where's the puppy? Here's the puppy. Like, look at this. Isn't this just the most sweetest thing you've ever seen? And it's got the wee butterfly up the top. It's got a little bit bent up in my envelope there. Let's straighten that out. But isn't that just adorable? I do think it needs something behind it. Oh, look at this. I did not notice this. Marriage certificate. But we're going to lose that, so that's probably a bit pointless putting that on there if we lose what drew my attention. We've got some of these collage papers from the kit. No, I'm thinking maybe book page. What, music? This is very thick music paper, this. Is it more than one sheet? No, it's only one sheet. It's very thick. This was sent to me in Happy Mail as part of Secret Santa. Right. Do I want straight edges or fun edges? Probably fun edges. Like, who am I if I go with straight? Let's go fun and interesting. Gosh, extremely thick paper. I'm amazed. I don't think I've ever struck one this. Oh yeah, yeah. That's ringing my bell. And then that top that I carefully tore off needs to be torn down because it's straight. Seems a shame to waste that little bit, but there we have it. Is that not adorable? I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, let's ink around this. Again, to make it pop off a little bit more, but also to bring cohesion. You know, ink around this as well. I feel very content today. How are you feeling today? I hope you're feeling content and happy in your skin, happy in your day. That's my hope for you today. Oh, yeah, loving it. I think that's awesome. I might just put a bit of glue stick in the middle. Smush it around and then take a glue around the edges, just because it is quite thick paper, just so it doesn't sort of pop up in the middle or something weird. I'm still trying to think about how I'm going to get around the whole Instagram thing and not alerting hubby to the fact that it's for him. And it's more about the photo, you know, about what he sees and not ruining that when he looks, you know, when I give it to him on Valentine's Day and he looks and goes, oh, I've already seen that. It's like, no, no, no. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted by trying to work that out, and it's not the time to be trying to work it out while I'm filming a video, but my brain just keeps going there. Does your brain do things like that? It doesn't cooperate, it just keeps going back to the same thing. It's like, even when it's not appropriate, it's like, oh my gosh, at church, you know, you go to church for a certain reason, and it's to pay attention and to learn and to listen and all that sort of stuff. Well, there was a table right beside the couch where I sit, and it was covered in books, because one of the ladies associated with our church has gone into a rest home, and so friends are clearing everything out, and what she doesn't want is being offered up to the church, and she's got lots and lots and lots of books. Obviously that she couldn't take them all into the rest home. And I don't know if you've watched many of my videos, but if you have, you know I might have a little thing about books. And so I kept being distracted by this table of books. I'd already been through it, and I'd removed a whole heap of Reader's Digest condensed books from the 60s. I took those out before church and put them in the car, much to hubby's disgust. I tried to hide them as I walked past him, but there was another gentleman sitting on the side that I was carrying them. So like my husband was on my right and I was holding them on my left to try and disguise them with my body. I mean, he's not angry or anything. He's just like, you've really got enough books. And I'm like, no, I don't. And so I'm carrying them on my left, and the gentleman sitting to my left, he's deaf. So he called out in a big loud voice, books and more books. And I was like, shh. But my hubby calls out as I was disappearing out the door, I saw that. I was like, and he carried them inside for me when we got home after church. But yeah, but all during church I kept looking at the books, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice that one. Is that one I want? And so I did end up with a few more books that, you know, I hadn't noticed. Not all to cut up or turn into things, but there was the odd one I took to read or just to keep on my bookshelf, like a horse book. I was like, yeah, I got to have that one. Beautiful condition. A lot of these books are in beautiful condition. But yes, so I was distracted. I was there for one purpose, and I was really struggling because I kept being distracted by this huge big trestle table full of books, and they said it's just the beginning of them. So once they've been there a few weeks, then they're going to take those away and bring the next lot. And I'm like, I need to use up some of my books so that my hubby won't go, no, absolutely not. Because, like, no, can't do that. I need all the books. I love the books. And occasionally I'll find one that I actually want to read. I love reading. I do love reading. I just don't make a lot of time for it, sadly. And I really would like to this year, but not doing very well on that. I finished a book that I was reading in January and haven't picked up another book since. Not good. In my defense, I have a series of books that I want to read, but I'm missing the first one. And so I'm not reading anything else because if I pick up anything else, it's going to take me a few months to get through because I just don't have a lot of time to read. And it's like, I want to read the series, and I've been hunting for the, going to op shops and stuff, hunting for the first book in the series, and just can't find it. I could buy it online, but I don't want to pay the cost of the book plus postage. And I listed some books for sale and says I'd consider a trade with this particular book I'm after, and no joy. So it's like, so I'm just not reading anything right now. Very sad state of affairs. Don't worry, guys, I'm not going to ink the whole thing. I'm just kind of dabbling as I talk. You're keeping me company today. It's not all about what we make, it's all about your company. I enjoy having your company, someone to talk to. Otherwise it's just me and the cats all day until hubby gets home from work. Me and the cats. And actually the cats are all outside at the moment, so I haven't even got the cats to talk to. You're it, my friends. You play a very important role in my day. Otherwise I'd be talking to myself, and that's not very scintillating conversation now, is it? Right, do I want a word? What word? Oh, what about this? It's not really the right colour though. Cherish every moment together. It is super applicable though. I could restamp it, but I'm actually not minding the green. There is green in that. Surprise. Not kind of. Friend. It's a bit small though. And yes, he is a friend, but my best friend. He's my best friend, but definitely more than that too. I think I'm probably going to go with this rather than dig in there. And I don't think I'm going to restamp it because I actually think that looks pretty good. Cherish every moment together. How perfect is that for a Valentine's little piece here? And it's on eco-dyed paper that I've made, so it's got some really nice colour in the background, and it's the actual paper, it's not a digital or anything, so it's got a bit of texture as well. I think that is just perfect. Actually, I might use glue stick. Nose is going again. Right, so this is the final thing I'm going to do on camera, I believe. So not as long a project as I thought it was going to be, but long enough for a video. So let's just pop that there. I think that is just pretty much perfection. There we go. So our little page flip attached to the side of a journal page. So and it flips out, and then we've got all these pockets with our little journal cards in with a sentiment that I'll write on the back, and they'll all be distressed around and look absolutely lovely. I'm not going to frou-frou it up, like add lace or, you know, anything like that, because it is for a man after all. Not that he's averse to lace, but it's to go in his journal. He doesn't want it, you know, all lacy and pretty. Still thinking about the tops. I don't think I will add anything to the tops, because again, that's kind of like an embellishment he doesn't really need. And then I might have run into issues with how things fit as well. Just wondering about whether I add something down here or up here. So a lot of these things are possibly a bit big to fit that. Yeah, a bit big because it's going to go up over the top of the pocket. So I might print some of these off smaller maybe. Excuse me. I could fussy cut around him a bit more. Although it would fit there quite nicely. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a butterfly or something might be the way to go, because it is quite busy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of pockets. There's a busy background. There's 6 journal cards in 5 pockets. So I don't, if I add anything, it will be something that kind of tones it down. Maybe like putting that across there, maybe something like that. But I need to think about that, because I think, yeah, I am pleased with it. Oh my goodness, I feel like I've got something in the back of my throat. Right, so that must be time to call it a video then, before I end up coughing and spluttering for the next 5 minutes. Thanks for joining me, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this little project here, Valentine inspired, for my wonderful husband. I hope you make something for your love, or just because. You can put this in any journal, so just go crazy with the pockets. Fill it up with pockets, fill it up with little treasures, and pop it in a journal, and it will be beautiful. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.